Hey everybody, welcome. This is No Bones About Wrestling. I am one of your hosts, Asa. Hi. My co-host Switch is going to be here very soon, and this is AEW Weekly, where we're going to give our bone ratings for the matches at Dynamite and Collision last week. Switch is going to give his bone ratings for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view because I slept through it and missed it. We're going to give our top 5 ratings and here's Switch. What's up, Switch?
What's up, brother?
How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Good. We're going to give our top 5 ratings for the men, women, and teams. We're going to talk some AEW news, rumors, and storylines. And we're going to do a brief preview of Dynamite and Collision tonight. And we're going to be doing a Dynamite watch-along at 7:55 tonight. All right, let's get it started with the AEW TV recap for last week. Dynamite was May 20th. They were in Portland, Maine. It got 613,000 viewers, so not bad. Dynamite's been on the uptick lately.
Yeah.
We started off with Jericho and the Young Bucks taking on national champion Mark Davis, Andrade El Idolo, and Ricochet. They were accompanied by Don Callis. And we saw Davis, Andrade, and Ricochet win. Andrade pinned Matt Jackson after the Dogs interfered. Gave that one 4.5 bones out of 5.
Yep, I also gave it 4.5. I like the Bucks of Jericho.
Yeah, great team. That match was all over the place. It was wild. Wild way to start the show. And if you're new to the show, we rate things 0 bones is terrible, 5 bones is awesome. So we go to 0 to 5 bones. We do not break the scale. 5 bones is the highest you can get.
Yep.
Next up, we had an Anything Goes match. Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe of the conglomeration. And we saw Briscoe get the win. He hit the froggy bow and got the pin. This was a wild, violent match. Pretty violent for a TV match. Usually you only see this level of violence on a pay-per-view from AEW. Both men were a bloody mess by the end of the match. This one I gave 5 bones out of 5.
Yep, I did too. And it's just for the reason you said right there. We got this on a Dynamite and not a pay-per-view. I went 5 bones too.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was looking forward to that one, and those two guys delivered in a big way. Up next, we had a Continental title eliminator match, meaning if the challenger goes the distance or beats the champion, they get a title shot. And so we had the champion, Jon Moxley, leader of the Death Riders, taking on Kyle O'Reilly, 1/3 of the World Trios champions of the conglomeration. And this one was a time limit draw. So Kyle O'Reilly got a Continental title shot at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And this was another really good match. These two worked together well. I gave this one 4.5 bones out of 5.
I gave it 4 bones only because I figured it was going to be a draw or something like that to lead into Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I got you. Up next, we had a women's 8-woman tag. We saw the Triangle of Madness being Ring of Honor World Champion, AEW World Champion Tekla, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue, and they teamed with Ring of Honor World Champion, the Forever Champion, Athena, and they beat the team of Thunder Rosa, Mina Shirakawa, and the Brawling Birds. Tekla pinned Thunder Rosa after Julia Hart spat green mist in Rosa's face. And this one I gave 4 bones out of 5.
Also gave it 4 bones. Good match.
Yeah, solid match. That was the only women's match on the card Wednesday. And the main event of Dynamite was yet another defense by Darby Allin. He defended the world title against Speedball Mike Bailey, who was accompanied by the Jet Kevin Knight. And Bailey actually submitted to the Scorpion Deathlock by Allin. Allin keeps the belt, and I gave this one 4.5 bones out of 5.
Also gave it 4.5 bones. Darby's been killing it lately.
Yeah, so very strong Dynamite, I thought.
Yeah, very.
Right after Dynamite, they did Collision last week, which is the same thing they're doing tonight. Collision had 413,000 viewers, so not good. From Dynamite to Collision, we went down 200,000 viewers who tuned out when Collision started.
Just because it's probably too much wrestling for people on one night, man.
Yeah, 3 hours on Wednesday night. That's a lot to ask of people. I think,
Yeah.
But Monday Nitro used to be 3 hours on a Monday night, and way more people watch AEW,
Different times, man. Remember, we had them
different times.
storylines, man.
Right.
And with AEW lacking in stories and stuff, so with storytelling anyway, it's not gonna make you want to stay up like it did for us back then.
Exactly. You can tune out of AEW for an hour and know you're not going to miss a lot of developments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something they really need to change, I feel like. We started off Collision. Will Ospreay beat Katsuyori Shibata of the Conglomeration. He hit the Hidden Blade, got the pin, gave this one 4.5 bones out of 5.
Also gave it 4.5 bones. Another good solid match.
Oh, yeah. And Will says, hi, Asa and Switch. What's up, Will?
What's up, Will?
Thank you for watching tonight. Next up, Roosh continued his domination over enhancement talent. He beat TJ Crawford after hitting You Get the Horns. This was a squash match.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not giving Roosh real matches. I'm not sure.
It's like the 5th one in a row.
Yeah. I mean, they're just showing his dominance, but at this point, I think we get the point.
Exactly.
We can stop with the squash matches for right now. Another reason to tune out of Collision, we had the Women's World Tag 5-minute eliminator match. So same rule as other eliminator matches, but with a 5-minute time limit. And we saw the champions, Divine Dominion, continue their dominance over enhancement talent. They beat Kayla Lopez and Ellie Valentine. They had a double choke slam and got the pin. And this was another squash match. And the main event of Collision, we saw a World Tag Team title match. FTR with Stoke. They defended the belts against 2/3 of the World Trios champions, the Conglomeration, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. And FTR kept the belts. Dax Harwood pinned Orange Cassidy after punching him with brass knuckles. And this was a really good match. The 2 real matches on Collision were both really good. Gave this one 4.5 bones out of 5.
I gave it 4 only because I pretty much knew the outcome of this one.
Yeah. I didn't think they were going to give Cassidy and Strong 2 belts at once.
Yeah.
Let's see. Will says, I'm not a fan of Ospreay with the Death Riders. It's awful. Wow, I'm English, so Ospreay. So I'm an Ospreay fan. Not sure if you guys like it. We're going to be talking about that in just a couple minutes. Ospreay and the Death Riders. Yeah, so keep watching. And now Switch is going to give us the Double or Nothing rundown. May 24th in Queens, New York. I slept through the show. Switch watched it. So tell us what's up. Tell us your bone ratings for the show.
Oh, yeah. It was a barn burner, man. I really enjoyed this pay-per-view. But to get started, man, we opened up the main card with I Quit New York Street Fight. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage against FTR with Big Stokely by their side. You get Beth coming out to attack Stokely, but she gets cut off by FTR. Dax tries to put Beth through a burning table, but Cash and Stoke end up going through it. And for the finish, it saw Cage lock Dax into the sharpshooter while Cope used good old Spike with the crossface, causing Dax to quit. And we have new champs.
And Christian. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Will says, I like Roderick Strong. He's good. I don't care about couples in real life private lives, but I didn't know he's married to Marina Shafir. Yeah, they've been married for a little bit here. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that either.
All right, go ahead, Switch.
Yep. So
one more from Will. I'm sorry.
Yep.
He says AEW Double or Nothing was so good, probably the best pay-per-view this year. That is what I heard. Yep.
A lot of people's been saying that. A lot of people have been saying that. But yeah, we had Cope and Cage as our new tag team champions. I gave this one 4.5 bones out of 5. It was a good way to open. I wasn't expecting them to open with it, but yeah, this was real good. I'm surprised we didn't get any blood in this match. But yeah, it was real good. Real good. And on to the next match, we saw Konosuke Takeshita against Kazuchika Okada for the AEW International Championship. This was a good back and forth match. You know, these two are always hard hitting. The finish of the match saw Takeshita hit Okada with the Raging Fire to score the pinfall. And then afterwards, we get a surprise return by the Pink Panther himself, Kyle Fletcher, who comes in the ring along with Don Callis, Okada. Who else was in the ring with him? Rocky Romero and Mark Davis. And they all give Fletcher gives Takeshita a hug. They raise his hands, play his music. Then all of a sudden, we get the turn. Fletcher clotheslines Takeshita, and they all start to beat Takeshita down. So,
okay.
Yeah, they all beat him down. So I think that's a wrap with that.
So I guess Takeshita's a face now.
I thought he was already being a face, and they just churn him. Almost the same thing that they do with Mox, you know. And but for this match, I had to give it 5 bones. I had to. This is one of the matches. If y'all didn't watch, you have to go back and see it. You want to go ahead on and hit those 2 comments right there?
Yeah. Let me see if I can grab them there. Will says, I think if they lost, they had to retire. Right? They had to stop tag teaming.
Yes.
Copeland and Cage, and that wasn't going to happen, says Will. Yeah. In our predictions, all 3 of us, me, Switch, and Wolf, all 3 of us picked Cope and Cage to win the belts. And Will says, oh, I'm sorry, same comment. Will says, so good. Okada versus Takeshita. I did not see Kyle Fletcher turn on Takeshita. Guessing he's solo now. Takeshita, one of my favorites in AEW.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites.
I saw Ospreay versus Takeshita a couple years ago at Revolution. And that was one of the best matches, if not the best match I've ever seen in person.
Yep, but on to the third match of the night. We are in the Women's Owen Hart Tournament quarterfinals, where we see Athena versus Mina Shawakawa. And it was a decent match, but in the end, we saw Athena, who, like you said, Asa, doesn't lose. I don't know why I picked against her. The finish saw Athena hit Mina with the O-face to score the pinfall victory. I gave this match 3.5 bones. I don't know what it is about the women's division. I'm just not really with it right now, but it wasn't a bad match. It was a decent match, but 3.5 bones out of 5 for that match.
And Will says, that was an awesome match, Asa. Ospreay versus Takeshita. I agree. Yeah, definitely. Great match. Great match.
I got to find that. Yep.
Yeah.
Next match, we will see Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly for the AEW Continental Championship. This wasn't really a lot of hard hitting. I mean, they had their strikes in this match, but it was a lot of grappling and submission, a lot of chain wrestling, I guess you can call it. But the finish of the match saw Mox force O'Reilly to tap out with a grapevine ankle lock. After the match, Moxley and O'Reilly shook hands in a show of respect. This match, I gave it 4.5 bones. It was good. It was different, man. I love the pace of how they did this pay-per-view. The lineup, I think they did a real good job with it. Eric Tate saying good evening. Good evening, Eric. Now we move on to the men's Owen Hart tournament, where we see Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe. The finish of this match saw Joe go for the Muscle Buster, but it was reversed by Ospreay with 2 hidden blades to score the pinfall victory. These two's chemistry to have only worked I don't think they've ever worked together before, have they?
I don't remember it if they have.
I think this was their first time. I think Ospreay was saying this was a dream match for, but Joe and Ospreay together in the ring, it was so good. I gave this match. What did I give this match? I gave this match 4.5 bones. You're gonna hear that a lot on here.
I gave this match. I heard. Yeah,
4.5 bones out of 5. And then next we will see another men's Owen Hart tournament match. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana against the Bandit, Bandito. Bandito would hit a 21 plex from the ground, but his neck was too damaged to hold on for a 3 count. To finish the match, Bandito attempted another 21 plex, but Swerve reversed it into a vertebraker, followed up with a house call for the pinfall victory. Swerve did this house call in the middle of the match where he jumped off of Bandito's shoulder and gave him a daggone house call.
That I did see, yeah.
Insane, man. Insane. Another great match. I gave it 4.5 bones for it. I really wanted to give it 5, but I was trying to hold on to them 5s. I don't like throwing out 5 bones all willy-nilly.
Yeah, I hear you.
Next, we will see the Women's AEW World Championship, where we have Tekla against Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. Statlander would take out both Hayter and Shida outside before hitting Tekla with Saturday Night Fever, but Shida returns and hits Statlander with her kendo stick to break up the pinfall. During the chaos, Tekla would hit Statlander with the stump to score a pinfall victory. For this to be 4-way match, it was pretty good for the women. But I gave it 4 bones out of 5. Another match that I shouldn't have picked against my baby on, but I did. And for y'all that's in Tekla, yeah. And for y'all that's in the chat, Asa went perfect on our predictions. He is the new No Bones About Wrestling prediction champion. I think I went 7 for 9, and I think Wolf went 8 for 9. So I'm still missing my belt. Asa is the new champ.
For the first time in a long time, I'm the champion.
With a perfect score. Next up, we have the Stadium and Stampede match with football teams, it seems like, on this thing, because there's a lot of people in here.
Yeah.
On Team Jericho, we have Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Bobby Lashley, and Benjamin Shelton, accompanied by MVP, against Ricochet's team of Bishop Khan, Toa Leona, Andrade my tongue got stuck for a minute. El Delio, Mark Davis, David Finlay, and Kurt Connors. The Young Bucks end up brawling with the dogs at the merchandise stand. Luchasaurus in a blonde wig. Luchasaurus showed up in a blonde wig. You know how Andrade goes to the side and gets the girls to give him a kiss with the phone? He was getting ready to take the picture, and Luchasaurus showed up in a blonde wig trying to get a kiss. Yeah, it was funny. You also see Jack Perry hopping his bus backstage and tries to run over Mark Davis with the car. Then all of a sudden, Mark Davis appears inside the ring. So I don't know what kind of trickery they was trying to do with that. But yeah, this was a wild match. The finish saw Bishop Khan eat a 7-way super kick. All of the faces at one time did a super. Wow. It was funny seeing Bobby Lashley do a super kick.
Yeah.
Followed up by Lion Salt by Chris Jericho to score the pinfall victory for his team. I'm actually going to give this one, it could have been a 5-bone match. I'm going to give it 4.5, and I'm going to tell you why. It was too long.
Yeah, those Stadium Stampede matches are too long. Was it like 40 minutes long?
Bruh, it felt longer than that. It did not need to be that long for them to get to where they was trying to get to. Did not need to be that long. Yeah. And then came our main event, title versus hair. MJF against Darby Allin, where if Darby Allin wins, MJF will have to be bald and forego all that money he done spent in Turkey. It was a good match. Darby would eventually get control, but he took another risk that didn't pay off, trying to hit MJF with a coffin drop on the ring apron, but Freeman moved out of the way. Where's that? There you go. Sorry about that. My thing got stuck for a second.
Sorry.
Okay. MJF capitalized by hits Darby Allin with a tombstone from the turnbuckle, followed by a headlock takeover. for the pinfall victory. It was a lot of back and forth. He tried to bring out the Dynamite ring. Darby wasn't having that. Darby was basically for this whole match selling that, he's out of it. Like this title reign has been too much for him, basically.
Yeah.
Putting on sharpshooters, passing out, trying to do other moves and just fainting and stuff. So yeah, MJF is our new AEW World Champion. I gave this 4.5 bones. Great main event. Great pay-per-view. Darby might not see Darby for a while.
I think so.
Might not see Darby for a while. They put Darby on a stretcher outside of the ring to take him away. And Kevin Knight is out there checking on him, trying to protect him from MJF. Kevin Knight goes to the top rope, talking junk to MJF. He looks at the crowd and gives us that grin. And then we get the frog splash from the top rope onto Darby Allin on a daggone gurney. And Kevin Knight, I think, has officially turned heel, which is what I have been begging for and asking and promoting for a while now. And then AEW's pay-per-view goes off air.
And so what would you give the show overall out of 5 bones?
Dude. For my enjoyment of the show, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've done it. I'm giving this show 5 bones, bro.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
even with the two female matches, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the show, man.
Nice.
It really didn't.
Best pay-per-view of the year so far?
I probably would say yes for me.
Okay.
I would definitely say easily say yes. Because best match for me for this show was, of course, Okada and Takeshita.
Okay.
I think that was the best match of the night. Worst match, I'm gonna probably go with Athena and Mina. Wasn't a bad match. I just didn't care for it. But 5 bones all the way for this pay-per-view. They
nice.
Standing ovation for it, man.
I'm glad you called it. I'm gonna try and go back and watch it somehow. I'll find it somewhere.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
And Eric Tate says, do you think the CEO will come back tonight? What do you think, Switch?
I mean, I can't see her coming back for nothing less than that world title. Is you talking about her coming back for the TBS title?
Well, don't we still have a mystery spot in the Women's Owen Hart tournament?
We do.
So
I forgot we do.
That could be Mercedes. A lot of people have been talking about.
It's possible. I've been picking with Wolf about it being Britt Baker. He does not want that. And we don't know why Tony is gone. So it could be Athena.
I keep saying she's pregnant, but I'm not basing that on anything. That's just my assumption. And let's say Will, talking to Eric, says probably Eric. Mercedes is coming back. So we got 2 fans who think she's coming back. So we will see. And Eric says this pay-per-view was, I don't know what's wrong with my comments. He says this pay-per-view was old school. Okay. Don't hear that applied to AEW a whole lot. And Will says one of the best spots on the AEW pay-per-view, Swerve standing on Bandito and then a kick to the head. Awesome, and a different type of move. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't see a lot of that out of Swerve. That's something you usually see out of like Hologram or somebody.
Yeah.
I wish he would come back. I don't know how injured he is, but I guess he's pretty injured.
Yo, El Clone is nice too, though.
He is. Eric Draven said, what's good, brothers? What's up, Eric?
What's up?
Thank you for joining us. We got a bunch of comments here. Eric Draven says Double or Nothing was epic. And that is what everybody's saying. I hate I missed it. I was asleep by like 8:30 that night. I called off the watch along for us at the last minute. Switch and Wolf joined the Flex Zone, which they still do WWE content. So if you want to watch WWE stuff, check them out, definitely.
Yeah, they only do AEW pay-per-views, I think, but mostly they do WWE.
And Will says, if I was Tony, I'd bring back Britt Baker DMD in a surprise spot. See, I don't mind her as much. I don't know what Wolf has against her, but he does not like her.
That last match she had, it rubbed Wolf the wrong way.
Yeah, that's true. Eric Draven says, you can see Adam Copeland getting emotional before the match and after, because whoever thought him and Cage would be tag champs in 2026? Not I. I did not see that. I mean, I saw it coming for this pay-per-view, but if you'd asked me a couple years ago, right, I'd say no way. I mean, Copeland was still retired, you know?
Facts.
Okay, so let's go. We're going to discuss some topics here. So, as Switch just said, he had called for TNT champion, the Jet Kevin Knight, to turn heel. He finally turned heel at Double or Nothing, attacking Darby Allin. So, what's next for Kevin Knight? So, Switch, you tell me. You've been the one with the master plan for Kevin Knight. What's coming next for him? Is he feuding with Allin over the TNT title or something else?
Nah, I think Speedball is going to have a problem with Kevin Knight, and they're going to go into a story, and Speedball might eventually end up with that belt, but I think he's going to go into a story with Speedball.
I think that's probably likely. We saw Speedball's reaction, and he did not seem to care for Knight attacking Darby Allin.
Yeah,
and the matches between those two will be fire. Those guys are both awesome.
Yeah.
Both been their top 5 rankings pretty often lately.
Yeah, both of them.
Will says she's straight off to WWE when her contract is finished. I think he's talking about Britt Baker. She upset Tony Khan when she said nobody cares to Serena Deeb. She's not been seen since. That is true. That's the last time we saw her. And I don't know where Serena Deeb is, mentioning her. Let's see. A lot of people think Britt Baker's headed to WWE.
Yeah.
I still think she's a talent. I think so. And Will says, quick question. Who's got the best frog splash? He says 1, Kevin Knight, 2, RVD, 3, Montez Ford. And we were just talking about this the other night, weren't we?
We was. And I'm going to be honest with you, Will. I can't give you an honest answer on that because Kevin Knight's frog splash is more of a spinning one with that UFO splash. RVD is the originator, and Montez just gets so much height on it.
Yeah.
Height.
I'd go number 1, RVD. I am biased. He's one of my favorites. But his looks like it has a lot of impact, you know, and he sells it after. He usually is like holding his ribs after it.
And see, that's why I like Montez Ford's. I would go Montez Ford, RVD, then Kevin Knight.
Okay. I would,
because Kevin Knight doesn't seem like he doesn't really impact the way RVD does or Montez Ford does.
Yeah.
It just looks good.
I would put maybe number 2, Eddie Guerrero, because it just looked nice.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe number 3, Montez Ford, because he jumps like into the heavens on that frog splash. It's crazy how high he can jump.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone jump that high off a turnbuckle like Montez Ford does. Let's see here. And Daz Reynolds says, what do you think is next for Ospreay? We're going to talk about that in just a couple minutes here. We're going to talk about Ospreay. Eric Douglas, do you think Hayter's time to be world champion again has passed? For now, I mean, I see her being around for a while. I see her being champion again, definitely. She's very talented. She's got a great look. She's good on the mic, I think. Good enough on the mic. I think for now, she won't be in the world title picture for a while. You know, she's doing the Brawling Bird tag team with Alex Windsor. So I see her becoming a tag team champion before she's back in the world title picture. Yeah. What do you think, Switch?
That's exactly what I say. That's what they need to focus on because the women's tag team division, I don't want to say weak, but it's lacking. Let those 2 girls be a tag team, establish themselves as a tag team, and build up this tag team division. She will have her chance later down the line.
And Eric, thank you for watching tonight. We got some good discussion going here on AEW Weekly. That's what we like, is you guys telling us what you think, asking us what we think. Will says, Braun Eric, because it's so fast. I don't know what Will means there.
I think they're talking about the spear. Best spear, Roman Reigns. Zarya or Edge.
Okay. Oh, I see. I missed it. Best spear of the 4: Roman, Braun, Zarya. Who the fuck is Zarya?
The name sounds familiar.
I don't know who that is. Or Edge.
Probably an NXT chick or somebody.
I'm gonna go with Braun Breaker, man. His
that
is
speed.
Pretty good looking. Yeah, it looks like a straight up football tackle when Breaker does it.
Yeah, Zarya NXT. I thought so. Yeah.
A lot of those WWE people have a lot of talent, but it's like WWE just does not let them do their thing, and we see it over and over. When people come from WWE to AEW, they've become like enhanced versions of themselves because they don't have people telling them how to do their stuff. Like WWE is very specific about what they want you to do, and AEW, from my understanding, AEW really lets the wrestlers plan out their matches.
Yep.
And they used to have agents planning out the matches, but from what I've heard, the wrestlers would ignore that and just do their matches. So it seems like all the agents are on and the wrestlers just straight up are planning their matches, aside from the ending, you know. Will says, oh, I already read that. Let's see. And yeah, Will is saying Zarya is in NXT, feuded with Sol Ruka. Yeah, I never watched WWE or NXT or AAA now that, which is sad now that WWE owns them. I don't watch AAA anymore. And Will says, do you not watch WWE? Do you guys not watch NXT, WWE guys? I watch WWE, AEW, TNA myself. So I don't watch WWE or TNA or NXT or AAA because Vince McMahon, who is turned out to be a total creep behind the camera, he is still getting a lot of money from TKO. So until Vince McMahon dies or sells off all his TKO stock, I will not be watching those. But Switch, you still watch some of those, right?
Yeah, I still watch. We just don't we don't watch it here on No Bones unless it's WrestleMania, which we probably waste our time with this year with that. But that's a whole another story for another day. But yeah, only one I don't watch is NXT. I watch AEW, I watch TNA, and I do watch WWE.
And
but
JCW.
And JCW, yeah. And JCW. And that's basically what we cover on here. We cover AEW and we cover JCW. We are doing old school WWF. We are on Tuesdays. We do a retro watch along for the Attitude Era when Vince Russo was in charge. So we do old school wrestling.
Yeah. We watch every Tuesday at 7. We do Tuesday Night Russo, and this coming Tuesday we're watching Raw's War from April 13th, 98. So we're really getting into the era when WWF got great in storylines and in wrestling. We're just at the point where they get rid of some of their worst wrestlers, and you start to see newer people like Edge, Christian, Gangrel, people like that featured. You get to see The Rock a lot more featured, and X-Pac, people like that. They just add a whole lot of talent in 1998. It gets really exciting. So join us Tuesday Night Russo, 7 o'clock. We're watching all the Raws that they have on Netflix, at least, and we're watching all the pay-per-views. So join us for that. It's a fun time going back to the Attitude Era. And let's see. We got a bunch of comments.
Yep.
And Will says just AEW and JCW then. Yeah, weekly we watch AEW and JCW here at No Bones. We do watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-views. We do those, which are usually pretty good. But that's and JCW, right? And that's all we cover. And old WWF and sometimes some old WCW. Eric Tate says main event is boring. I think he's talking about the WWE show main event.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Daz Reynolds says, do you think Darby wins again for the title? We're going to talk about Darby Allin in a couple minutes here, so just wait for that.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got. Steven Chambers, welcome. What's up, guys? What's
Steven?
Up? Eric says, oh, I'm sorry, I already got that. Will says Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is good. Scott D'Amore, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not sure. He said is doing good and gets good wrestlers because he's the former boss of TNA so he knows wrestlers. I've heard a lot of good things out of Maple Leaf. They're one of the bigger independents now, definitely. And I go to independent shows of a company called AML Wrestling, America's Most Liked Wrestling. They mostly do like North Carolina, but they'll do a little Virginia and South Carolina too, but mostly North Carolina. And they get stars in, like Sunday we're going to a show and Shayna Baszler is in a match. So they usually have a couple stars, and there's a guy, I forget his name, last name Edwards, used to be TNA and Ring of Honor world champion.
Eddie?
Yeah, Eddie Edwards. He's with AML now.
Okay.
And Will says Gangrel and Tatanka still wrestle on the indies. I knew Gangrel did. I did not know Tatanka was still active. I know that I think two of his sons, Tatanka, are training at the moment to be pro wrestlers. So
that's what's up.
If they're half as good as their dad was, they're going to be pretty good. Because Tatanka, one of my all-time favorites, he was one of my like top 3 back in 1994, 95, definitely. Will says, I even watched WWE main event, LOL. That's rough. That's rough. But they got some good stars. Like I said, WWE has some great talent. We just don't get to see it. Daz says Eddie X Wolves.
Yeah, he was part of this team called the Wolves.
Okay. He's good. He's good. But yeah, he's with AML now. And Steven says, oh fuck, I pressed the wrong button. There it goes. Steven says Rock and Roll Express still active and they're older. Ricky Morton has been in AML a little. While I talk about old people, they have. And Ricky Morton was making some appearances in JCW. He, a couple months ago, he was the JCW Battle Royal champion, which was the biggest wrestling belt I've ever seen. And he lost it. Ricky lost it to his son, Kerry Morton, who's doing a great job right now in JCW. Like I said, man, watch JCW. Watch it with us Thursday at 6:55. You won't regret it. It's a great show. It's my favorite wrestling show right now. Will says they Arexy saw that Tatanka's sons and Eddie Guerrero's daughter wrestle too on the indies. Oh, I didn't know his sons were actually wrestling already. That's cool. I definitely got to try and catch them somewhere. I bet they're in North Carolina. Tatanka still lives in North Carolina.
Probably so.
Will says 70s. Are they in the 60s? Rock and Roll Express are at least in their... They got to be approaching 70 because, I mean, they were tag team champions in the 80s, like 85. That's 41 years ago.
Damn near close.
So they got to be about 70. But Ricky Morton's still pretty good. He's, you know, a shadow of his former self. But being a shadow of Ricky Morton is still pretty good. One of the top faces, one of the best sellers in the history of wrestling. Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express, I don't think he's still wrestling. I'm not 100%, but I don't think, I think he's retired. Steven says, I saw Dean Malenko's daughter got signed to WWE. Okay, that's cool. Her new ring name is Lacey Simon. That's cool. Dean Malenko, great wrestler, one of the best.
69 and 67.
Okay, who's 67? Robert Gibson or Ricky?
Yeah. Gibson is 67, Morton is 69.
Okay. And Will says they've been on AEW with FTR last year, I think it was. I'm not sure who he's talking about.
Rock and
Roll Express. Oh, that's right. I remember that. Okay, that's the comments for now. A lot of comments. Thank you, guys. Keep the discussion going. So we were just talking about Jack Kevin Knight and his probably upcoming feud with Speedball over the TNT title. So let's move on here. AEW announced a new pay-per-view for this July called Redemption in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So, Switch, is this too many pay-per-views now, too few, or just the right amount for AEW?
Dude, I don't lost count of how many AEW has.
I'm not sure how many myself.
Yeah, between them and WWE, I know WWE has way too fucking many, and I don't want AEW to get up there. I miss when it was just 4 main ones a year. You know what I'm saying? Even WCW had 4 main ones. They just don't need to they don't need to follow WWE's blueprint. Keep it simple.
I
Keep
think,
it simple.
I mean, as long as they can make money, as long as they keep making the money they do on these pay-per-views, AEW is just going to keep having more and more. But like Switch said, I like it when the storylines, they got more time to build than 30 days, you know? You get let these feuds breathe a little and you don't have to keep resetting everything, and you can let a feud get going. Let some stories, which is AEW's weak point. Let some stories develop so by the time you get to the next pay-per-view, say 2 months later, there's really some stakes in the match instead of a feud that's been going for like 2 or 3 weeks, you know? That's what I think. I think do like 6 a years. It should be the most.
I can deal with that.
But as long as they keep making money, they're going to keep adding more pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And let's see here. And Steven saying Jimmy Valiant finally retired recently, 83 years old. Yeah, the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, the boy from New York City. Saw him many times on the Indies. Will says guessing a Speedball and Night Feud. Yeah, we guessed the same. Steven says never too many AEW pay-per-views. I mean, they're quality, man, but I mean, you can have too much of a good thing, you know. You eat enough ice cream, you're gonna throw up eventually. So all right. It's rumored that FTR is coming up on the option year of their AEW contracts, which I think it's their option if they want to go another year. It's rumored that WWE is interested in them. Switch, if you were in FTR's spot, would you return to WWE?
Gosh, man. If only I could trust WWE. I would.
Right.
Only because I don't see like what else is left for them to do in AEW. That's the only reason I would say yes, but at the same time, I don't trust WWE to use them right.
Right.
I mean, look at what just happened with the Motor City Machine Guns. The Motor City Machine Guns ain't really get a strong push in WWE. Right. And FTR didn't really have a great run last time they was there. So I'm fickle about it, man. Like,
and they showed them shaving each other's backs in the locker room.
Yes, like what are we doing, man?
That's what they did with the Revival. They were called in WWE
because it's funny. Because it was funny to fucking Vince McMahon. That's why it was funny to Vince McMahon. No, I man, it's so crazy. I never thought that I would be shitting on WWE the way that I have been. Growing up a big WWE, WWF fan, you know what I'm saying? And I would love for them to go back if they was to do something right, because the tag team division is hurting right now in WWE. Yeah. It's hurting. So yeah, but I don't know, man. Is there anything left for them to do in AEW?
Well, we'll get some new tag teams for them to fight. You're talking about the Motor City Machine Guns. Most people expect them to come to AEW in a couple months. And then, of course, the New Day. It would be a nice feud, New Day versus FTR, like the new school versus the old school style. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So then AEW is adding some teams, so I think we could have some fresh feuds for FTR.
You're right. So with that, I say stay in AEW. Y'all just lost to Christian and Coat. Y'all they can take time off for a while because they've been going strong for a while. Let them take some time off and get their body straight. And by the time all these 90-day clauses is up and they start bringing other people in, bring them back. So, yeah, stay with AEW. Don't even take a chance with WWE.
Yeah, that's what I say, too. And then we may see another tag team. You know, the whole Wyatt Six were released by WWE. We may see a couple of those guys. I don't know. We may see a couple of them come to AEW and make a tag team too. We'll see what the future holds for them. I don't know where the Wyatt Six is going to end up. Let's see. We got a couple comments here. Steven says, seeing Fight for the Fallen going to be raising money for ALS awareness and Rebel bracelets be around. Prayers, Rebel. Yeah, she was diagnosed with fatal ALS. I can't even imagine being diagnosed with a fatal disease, man. That's terrible. Yeah. So yeah, prayers Steven says WWE's been lacking tag team wrestling. FTR, in my opinion, ought to stay. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're thinking too.
Yeah.
And Steven says FTR ought to take time off by the end of summer, kind of what Switch is saying.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be on the All-In card. I mean, that's the big show, but maybe take some time off now between now and All-In, maybe.
I think it's enough time for them to take a little time off.
All right, Willow Nightingale's injury has forced AEW to vacate the TBS title, forced her out of the Owen Hart Cup. How would you like to see AEW fill the TBS title vacancy?
Well, knowing AEW, they'll probably end up doing a tournament.
Right.
Which I don't think we need another tournament right now, being that we have the Owen Cup.
Right.
I wouldn't mind them doing like, I think they've done it before, and I've suggested it, doing like a Royal Rumble type match.
That's
and
exactly
then the
last
two people in the ring have a match for the belt. I wouldn't mind seeing them do something like that. But maybe bring back your girl, like you was talking about. Was it you or Wolf talking about her? I keep forgetting her name. She had the baby with the guy that be combing his hair.
Oh, Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho. Yeah. Something like that. I think that'll probably be the best way to get that belt on somebody.
Yeah, I was going to say a battle royal, but I think what you said, a better idea is to have a battle royal, let the last two in fighting a singles match, because we've had so many tournaments lately. You don't want to make the tournaments you don't want to have too many. So exactly. I think a battle royal would be a great way to showcase some of the talent, like who's on par in this TBS division, and do it in an interesting way, I think. Yeah, so I'm right there with you. Let's see here.
Those some good suggestions too.
Let's see. Let me find all these. Will says FTR should stay because they're probably getting 2 new tag teams in New Day and Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Will. Steven says one word, Mercedes. Okay, but maybe talking about for the TBS title, or I don't know if he's talking about her coming into the Owen Hart tournament. I don't know. Eric says, I looked it up. The reason WWE and AEW are not coming back to Springfield, Missouri, the arena in Springfield, Missouri did not make money for that arena. Okay. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Eric. Let's see. Eric Draven says, Switch and Asa, not to get off topic, but man, if y'all can get an interview with Big Vito LaGrasso, that would be cool. I actually approached Big Vito on X last week and asked him about an interview, and he quoted me a price, and it was just more than I want to pay for Big Vito. Like, he's cool, and I would like to talk to him and all, but he wanted more money than Vince Russo. We paid to get Vince Russo on the show because we really wanted to talk to him. But I don't want to pay more for Big Vito than Vince Russo personally. So he was really nice about it. I was really nice to him, told him keep up the great work and JCW, but I don't think we're going to have Big Vito on the show, unfortunately. We will have some more interviews this year. I'm talking to Lash LaRue from WCW about coming on. He said to get back to him in a couple weeks, and we're going to talk to some other folks. We like doing interviews. If you missed it, we did an interview with Vince Russo. That's on youtube.com/@nobonesaboutwrestling. It was an hour-long interview. The audio's fucked up for the first 5 minutes, but it gets better. It gets fine after 5 minutes. That was a really good interview. Switch and I interviewed the Cat, Ernest Miller from WCW, and that was a cool interview too. Yeah. And K Fabulous and I interviewed several months ago. We interviewed White Mike, who is now Black Mike, who is an AML wrestler. Very cool guy. Interesting stories about what it's like working on the indies nowadays. So check out that interview too. He's a funny guy. Will says, yeah, a tournament to crown a new TBS champ. He says it will be a grease switch. I'm not sure what he means right there.
I think he's talking about that idea I had about that Rumble style match.
Yeah. Steven says it would be cool if Harley got the TBS title.
She deserves a run.
I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, she's very entertaining. She's been one of the more entertaining women in the last year, I think. Will says Queen Aminata. Okay.
I like the Queen, but she needs to be there longer.
Yeah, she got better, and then she kind of regressed a little, I feel like.
Yeah, and then went away for a while.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what her deal is. She had a series of really good matches with, who was it? Tekla, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tekla.
And then I haven't seen as much out of Queen Aminata since then. Will says Ruby Soho. I think that would be a cool angle to do. Have her come back and win it. And Will says lots of people could have that title. Thunder Rosa, Mercedes. I think it would be too much of a downgrade for Mercedes. I say give somebody else a chance, personally.
Yeah, Mercedes needs to go for that world title.
Yeah, she's a big star. She needs to be in the world picture. Will says maybe Statlander or Hayter. I could see that. But yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Will asks, you doing a live tonight, AEW Dynamite? We are doing a watch along for Dynamite, 7:55 tonight. So come and join us for that. Be me, Switch, Wolf, and maybe K Fabulous. Steven says Olive Garden would be cheaper than an interview with Vito. Yes, it would. I'm not going to quote the price, but it was a little too much for me, a little too much for my pockets. Eric Draven said, yeah, the Russo interview was smooth. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, Russo had some great things to say about the wrestling business. And Will says, Big Vito, didn't he have a fight with that guy who said he can beat up wrestlers and fans at WrestleCon? He did. Yes, he did. And he pinned him to a merchandise table until the guy realized he was not going to beat Big Vito in a fight. Yeah, I don't know if I would pick a fight with Big Vito. Eric says, nice beanie, Switch.
It's a bandana.
Yeah, it's bandana. Will says, construction worker guy. Yeah, talking about a WrestleCon. And Will says, okay, you've done quite a few interviews, haven't you guys? Well, 3. But we're hoping to do more this year. We've done 3 so far. White Mike, the Cat, and Vince Russo. Yeah. All right, here. Will Ospreay, who said we're going to talk about, he has been training with the Death Riders, and they've had his back in recent matches. Where is this heading? What do you think, Switch?
I have the slightest clue, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
It did. I kind of like that he did say that he is not joining the Death Riders. He's just been training with them. But even in the match at Double or Nothing, I mean, I saw traits of the Death Riders, but not as much as I thought I would see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so I'm not really sure where they're going to go with this.
Yeah.
They were backing him up and stuff. I'm pretty sure he's going to win the Owen. Maybe they have to train him a little bit deeper if it's going to end up being Ospreay against Swerve, because he might have to take it up another level.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not really sure, though. What you think?
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. I like it. I think it's interesting. It's one of the few storylines AEW has going right now. It's interesting. And as you mentioned, we've seen his style change a little, which has been cool. You know, it's cool to see storylines change people's wrestling styles. I enjoy that. But where's it heading? I don't know. My first guess is maybe a match with Jon Moxley at the July pay-per-view Redemption. Maybe, Moxley is a little overbearing on Ospreay, more than Ospreay wants, and they end up feuding. I don't know. That's my first guess. So where is it eventually heading? I don't know. I guess that's my guess.
Okay. I'm a fantasy book here.
All right.
What if eventually the Death Riders turn on Mox and kick Mox out? Because Mox has been getting cheers and the rest of them been getting boos. Well, for the 0 Hour, they got a little cheers. But either way, kick Mox out and replace him with Ospreay, and Ospreay turns heel.
No.
And he's the leader of the Death Riders.
No, Ospreay's going to be, I'm telling you, he's going to be a face heading into All In. We get MJF versus Ospreay. People in England are going to go crazy. Ospreay wins the world title.
I'm talking about after All In. I'm talking after All In.
Oh, after All In. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Eric says people is crazy out there. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but that's definitely true. That's why I don't go anywhere. I go to pinball tournaments. That's when I get out of the house. That's about it.
Oh, that's right.
Stephen Chambers says either Mox getting the boot from the Death Riders and Ospreay joining him. Yeah, that's what Switch said. Let's see what else we got here. Will says we won't have seen Queen Aminata. She was injured for 6 months, just returned recently. She was out due to a neck injury. I did not know that. We need to start doing injury reports on this show. We used to, and we haven't been doing it since we brought it back, but I think we're going to bring that back because it's good to know why people are off TV, you know. Steven says maybe IWGP champion Callum Newman joins the Death Riders and both Mox and Ospreay get the boot. Okay, that'd be cool. I could see that.
Okay.
I could see that. That's interesting. I would like to see more of Callum Newman in AEW. I only saw him like once, and he was very impressive. Will says Ospreay versus MJF at All In. You think, guys, Ospreay wins at Wembley? My fantasy booking. I've been saying it for months. Ospreay wins at Wembley. It's going to be a big thing, and he finally wins the world title for AEW. All right, last discussion topic here. Darby Allin's world title reign lasted 39 days. So, Switch, looking back over those 39 days, how was it? How was his world title reign?
I liked it because it was different than any other AEW title reign we've seen. He defended that thing every week, sometimes twice a week, and all the matches was good. I think it probably would have been too much for him. I think this was a good stopping point for him because I think he was just overworking himself. The boy just does not care about his body.
Yeah.
He does not care. But I liked it. It was refreshing, something different. And yeah, I'm anxious to see where he goes next. Hope he takes a little time off and heal, but ain't no telling now that Mick Foley's there.
Yeah, I say about the same thing. Yeah, it was interesting. It was different. He actually won the belt on TV, which was refreshing to see them do a world title change on television. They need to do way more of that so people don't feel like they can miss the TV show and just buy the pay-per-views. But it was nice. It was nice seeing him defend it. I heard people say he was defending it too much and it was devaluing the world title, but I disagree because the matches were so good that it elevated the world title, I think. Now, if he had bad matches, I agree, it would have devalued the title. But he had great matches, so
give me a fighting champion any day of the week. Give me a fighting champion. I want to. People go to these shows. They want to see the champion fight. They want to see the champ fight.
Exactly.
Not just come out and cut a promo.
Right.
You the champ. Hold that belt and go fight. You know.
Yeah. You pay your hard-earned money. If I'm going to a TV show, I want to see a world title match. That's the number one thing I want to see. Is a world title match. Make me feel like the show is big. You know. Now, we don't need one at every TV show. I'll agree with that. But I'm just saying that's what I would want if I were at the show. Stephen Chambers says Ospreay has to win at Wembley or Tony Khan won't get out of London alive. That may be true. That may be true. Yeah, he's definitely winning at Wembley. I'll be shocked if he doesn't. Will says, I have a wrestling news channel on YouTube anyway. Yeah, Ospreay, new champ, agree. Will, go ahead and share the name of your channel if you want. I forget if you have before. So if you have before, I'm sorry, I forget. Steven says, Darby taking time off, I'm guessing, until the fall. Like Switch said, I would maybe think that, but with Mick Foley there now, I think Darby kind of wants to get some Mick Foley's input. You know, another wrestler who really put his body on the line for wrestling. And I think Darby wants to get some influence from Mick Foley and kind of take his game up a notch. So we'll see. It could go either way.
I expect Darby to take time off. He's gonna be at All In, and that's probably where we're going to get Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight for Kevin Knight doing what he did.
Nice. Okay.
Let Speedball and Kevin Knight have their little feud for a while, if they can drag it out a little bit, and then you bring Darby back and let him and Kevin Knight have it at All In. I think that'd be a good match for All In.
I think you may be right. And then I don't know. You think Kevin Knight will still have the TNT title by then? What do you think?
I don't even think it would matter if it's for the TNT title. It'll be about getting revenge.
Yeah. Oh,
whether he has the title or not.
I just didn't know if Darby maybe is going to go back down from the world title to like the TNT title range.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Speedball will probably have that belt by the time they get to All In.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Eric Tate asks, do you think, talking about Darby Allin, he says, do you think he will ever get it back?
Definitely.
Okay. I think as good as this reign was, definitely. I will say that too. Yeah, I think he earned another title reign. Yeah. I think it'll be a while, but I think he will get it back eventually. I mean, he's a young guy still, so he's got time. Will says, who do you think is winning the Owen tournament, man? I definitely think Ospreay is winning the men. He says, I like that segment, Foley and MJF on 0 Hour at the AEW pay-per-view. That's another one I missed. I'm going to go back and have to watch that. I heard people saying it was great.
Bruh,
and Foley and MJF are two of the best on the mic, so I bet it was great. Foley
hasn't missed a step on that mic with the emotions and just the way he talks. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I just hope he brings some of that storytelling to that locker room so they can tell these stories properly, because Mick is a great storyteller. If he can rub off on some of these guys in that locker room with the storytelling, AEW is going to go to another level.
Yeah. And we just saw him last night on Tuesday Night Russo. We were watching Raw from April 6, 98. We saw Cactus Jack blaming the fans because he was laying there, had his ass beat by DX, and he was blaming the fans because they were cheering for Stone Cold while he was laying there. And he said, you're not going to see Cactus Jack for a long time. You know, he was implying that he retired. Now, Foley, he returns as a different character. I'm not going to spoil it if you're following along with us, but he does return sooner rather than later as a different character. And we don't see Cactus Jack for a long time. He was not lying there. So yeah, just talking about Foley's storytelling, that was a great promo last night that we saw. And join us for Tuesday Night Russo, as you will see more of Mick Foley as we're heading to the next pay-per-view, Unforgiven, from April 98. Steven says, Darby defending the title more than Roman Reigns wrestled for 2 to 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. Eric Tate says, WWF Superstars and Challenge never had a World Heavyweight Championship match. How come? They just weren't big enough shows, and Vince wanted the WWF title to seem like the prize in wrestling. So he kept it for things like Saturday Night's Main Event, which actually used to be a big deal. It used to be on NBC. That thing got monster ratings back in the 80s. He kept it for shows like that and pay-per-views. Yeah, just wanted it to seem big when there was a World Heavyweight title match. And Will said, it's my name, my channel, Will Rally Sport 1. All right, everybody go visit Will. Check out his channel. Steven says, just hope Darby doesn't get run over by a bus. Steven also says, Kevin Knight is going to hold the TNT title for a while. Herd Syndicate will turn heel and Knight will join them. And that's something else Switch has been prophesizing for a little bit here. That'd be interesting. Will says, I wasn't surprised MJF won. He probably paid a lot to get hair from Turkey, so I picked him. Just surprised Knight attacked Darby. Yeah, I was surprised at that ending. I wasn't surprised at MJF winning, but I didn't see the Kevin Knight turn happening in the main event for sure, or after the main event.
I didn't see that coming, but I was gladly surprised.
Steven says going to be Ospreay versus Swerve in the Owen final. That's what I'm betting on too. Yeah, I'd be really surprised if they don't do that. And Will says I'm going Ospreay versus Swerve too. Steven, yeah, definitely going to be that, I think. All right, and now it is time for the weekly top 5.
Let's go.
Your top 5 rankings for AEW for May 27th, 2026. We each submit our own top 5. We fight about it. We insult each other's mothers. We cry about it a little. And then eventually we come up with a cumulative top 5. So here we go. For the ladies first. Number 5 this week, back in the rankings, Hikaru Shida, who got a world title shot at the pay-per-view, but lost. Number 4, same spot as last week. Same deal. Got a world title shot, but lost. Chris Statlander. Number 3, up 2 spots from number 5 last week, is Jamie Hayter. Same deal as the last 2 ladies. Got the world title shot, had a good match, but lost. Hopping back into the top 5, the Ring of Honor World Champion, Athena, who is now in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Cup and may end up getting a title shot. And number 1, she has been there for weeks, your AEW Women's World Champion, Tekla. So number 1, Tekla. Number 2, Athena. Number 3, Jamie Hayter. Number 4, Chris Statlander. Number 5, Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
And now we'll head to teams. This can be any team, men's, women's, tag, trio, whatever. Because they have so few teams matches, we have to combine them all together. So number 5, never ranked before, Team Jericho, 7-man team from Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing. Number 4, a team we hadn't seen before, national champion Mark Davis, along with Andrade El Idolo and Ricochet. They had a nice win on TV last week.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, believe it or not, same spot as last week, the former World Tag Champions, FTR, who had a great match in losing to Cope and Christian. And they defended successfully last week against, who was it? Cassidy and O'Reilly? No, Cassidy and Strong.
Cassidy and Strong.
Yeah. Number 2, same spot as last week. They have been tearing through the enhancement talent, and that's your women's tag team champions, Divine Dominion. And number 1, hopping back in the top 5, your new world tag team champions, Cope and Cage. And we'll see how long they can hold on to number 1. The team's number 1 changes pretty much from week to week, depending on who's on TV and who's not. So number 1, Cope and Cage. Number 2, Divine Dominion. Number 3, FTR. Number 4, Davis, Andrade, and Ricochet. And number 5, Team Jericho. And last but not least, the men's top 5. Number 5, back in the rankings. He is in the Owen Hart semifinals now. Got a win at the pay-per-view, and that is Swerve Strickland. Good to see him back.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, back in the top 5, the new international champion and apparently a new face, Konosuke Takeshita, won the international title from Okada at Double or Nothing. Number 3, falling 2 spots from number 1, and that is your former world champion, Darby Allin, who lost the belt to MJF at the pay-per-view, but had such a great reign. He's still at number 3 here, still in contention for the world title. Whether we're going to see him or not for a while, he is number 3 this week. Number 2, up 1 spot from number 3 last week, Will Ospreay, still training with the Death Riders, and he is in the semifinals for the Owen. He beat Samoa Joe at Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, jumping back into the top 5, he was not in it last week, and that is your new 3-time world champion, MJF. So number 1, MJF. Number 2, Will Ospreay. Number 3, Darby Allin. Number 4, Konosuke Takeshita. And number 5, Swerve Strickland. And that is your top 5 for this week. Couple comments here. Let's see. Will says Shida versus Statlander in a street fight tonight. Should be good later. Sheeta's been on AEW TV lots. Have you noticed, guys? Yes, we have. That Shida and Statlander feud has been building for several weeks. Finally going to see him go at it later tonight. And in a minute, we're going to do a very brief Dynamite and Collision preview for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Will says she's on most AEW shows. Yes, she is. She has been lately. She's good. She's a good talent. Will says Athena might actually win that Owen tournament. She may. I don't know. I'm not as sure about who's going to win the women's. It's more of a crapshoot, but
I got to see who's in that wild card.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Daz Reynolds said, "Where's Mercedes? Not been seen for a bit." A lot of people think, a couple of our viewers said they think she's coming back tonight, and people said she may be that wild card spot in the Owen tournament. I don't know. She's been wrestling in other companies for a while. She had like 13 belts. She's been going around the world losing all her belts. That's where she's been. So I think she's due to return to AEW very soon here. Steven says Statlander is going to beat the Sheeta out of Sheeta. We may see that tonight. So very briefly, we're going to preview this and get out of here.
Yeah, I'm anxious about this show tonight. It feels almost like another reset. So we should be getting like some new stories and stuff, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, they're in Philadelphia, PA tonight. We're going to see MJ. Yeah, which means they better put on a good show.
Philly?
Yeah. They better put on a tough show. Those Philly crowds are not forgiving, MJF's 3-time world champion celebration. We're going to see. That should be fun. TNT champion, the Jet, Kevin Knight, is going to have a promo. Explain why he's a heel now. We have a match everyone banned from ringside. Chris Jericho versus Ricochet should be great. Ricochet is so great. One of the best they have, I think.
Chris still going strong.
Oh yeah, he's awesome, man. Lights out Philly street fight match. Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. Should be a good one. We've got an Owen Hart men's quarterfinal. National champion Mark Davis of the Callis family is taking on Jungle Jack Perry, the man he won that national title from.
Mm-hmm.
Tag team champions Cope and Cage are going to do a 5-second pose. So I don't know how long that's really going to be.
I was just thinking that when you was reading the tag team, I was like, you know what? I would love for them to do a 5-second pose tonight.
That's what they're doing.
I wonder how that's going to be with Christian being such an asshole now. He's been funny, but an asshole.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure that segment will last more than 5 seconds, whatever they're going to do. Yeah. And Renee Paquette interviews Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to the show. It's 3 hours tonight, 2 hours of Dynamite, 1 hour Collision. We're doing a watch along at 7:55. We will at least do Dynamite. It may be bedtime for me at 10. I don't know if I'll be up for Collision. I'm going to see how I'm feeling, but we're at least going to do the first 2 hours. Do
what you do, man.
It's going to be me, Switch, Wolf, and K Fabulous. Are you going to do it?
What?
You going to watch Dynamite with us?
Yeah.
K Fabulous will be on the Dynamite watch along. So a couple of comments, and we're going to get out of here. Eric Tate says AEW is on this Saturday night. 2 collection this week. Okay, so are they doing another Collision? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh fuck!
I know WWE got a pay-per-view this weekend.
So I guess they're trying to rival that. And I pressed the button and I can't see the comments anymore. Switch.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yes. Steven, it's just one more comment. Steven says Takeshita versus Fletcher. Take my money, bro. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you, but I'm torn with those two because I love both of them. I love watching Fletcher, my Pink Panther, do his thing, and Takeshita has been awesome for the past year. Our end of the year daggone awards is going to be tough this year.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great performances by people in AEW to start this year, and I'm sure we have a lot more in store. AEW just needs to get their storytelling and their storylines up, and they will be perfect, man.
Yeah, and Steven also saying that AAA PLE on YouTube Saturday night. I am going to watch this just for one reason. It's Mass versus Mass with Andrade, Americanos. The Americanos are going face to face.
Oh, okay. All right. And
so
I heard
they did let Ludwig, the judge gave him a pass and said he could travel and stuff for his shows, even though he got to do the court thing and stuff. So yeah. I'm going to watch that. And Eric Sake says, do you think Don is like a SummerSlam?
I don't know what that means. Let me ask you, Switch. I heard, and I'm not sure if this is in reality or in the storyline, I heard Rey Mysterio is in charge of AAA now. Do you know?
He's the GM.
So
He's
on
the
TV,
general manager.
on TV,
Yeah, on TV, he's the general
Okay.
manager. Yeah.
Because I think like the Undertaker's in charge behind the scenes, isn't he? Is that right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy. What the fuck does he know about Lucha Libre, man? Nothing.
Bruh, I don't
nothing.
fucking know. I told you, man, I don't know what WWE is doing.
Nothing.
Like, okay, you send Taker to AAA when SmackDown and Raw is struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know.
All I'm gonna say.
All right, that's gonna do it for AEW Weekly. Real quick, I'm gonna run down the shows we have coming up tonight. 7:55, 40 minutes from now. AEW Dynamite Watch Along. Tomorrow night, 6:55. JCW Lunacy Watch Along. And as always, I'll tell you, if you're not watching JCW, you're missing out. It is unpredictable, good wrestling, great storylines. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen. Vince Russo is the writer for the shows. Join us 6:55 tomorrow for JCW Lunacy. And a great part of it, it is free on YouTube. You don't have to pay a cable bill or satellite bill or anything. It's free. So join us. Next Tuesday, we do a show on Tuesdays called Tuesday Night Russo, where we are going through the Vince Russo written era of WWF, also known as the Attitude Era. Tuesday, we're watching Raw is War, April 13th, 1998. Main event is Stone Cold defending the world title against Vince McMahon. So that should be fun. And then next Wednesday, we'll be right back here with AEW Weekly, 6 o'clock, and Dynamite Watch Along, 7:55. You can catch wrestling news, rumors, all that on X and our schedule on X at No Bones Wrestling. That's at No Bones RASSLIN. You can catch all our stuff on YouTube, youtube.com/@NoBonesAboutWrestling. And we're on TikTok too, @NoBonesAboutWrestling. And I'm going to try and post some newer content on TikTok and just have some things we put on TikTok we don't put elsewhere. But yeah, that's going to do it for us right now. We'll see you in like 38 minutes for Dynamite. So Switch, go live your life for 38 minutes, and I'll see you back here.
I'm going to get me some goodies.
And also, if you want to catch this AEW Weekly, of course, you can watch it again on YouTube or X. And today or tomorrow, this will go up as an audio-only podcast on Spotify, iTunes, all those places. We do have some people who just listen to it on there or who want to listen to it again. And all the new episodes are available on there, and all the past episodes of AEW Weekly are on there. All right, everybody, we'll see you in a little bit for Dynamite. That's it for now. Switch, thank you for being with me, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Yep, and thank everybody in the chat that was rocking out with us. Great questions, great convo, great engagement. Y'all come over to Dynamite in about 30 minutes, and we're going to do the same thing.
Yep, thank you, everybody. Definitely great conversations tonight. See y'all in just a little bit. See you, Switch.